Dum, 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 dum. Welcome to Live Chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. All right, I will. Beautiful night here again. It is temperature-wise. This is at night time. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's at night time. It's probably about 100 and a bit today. Nearly had a thunderstorm. Didn't happen, you know. It gets really humid, clouds build up and then disappear. Well, that was my day. Hot, and now it's warm tonight, 80 degrees. But I thought I'd do a hangout and talk about a subject. I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going. Chasing cheddar. What does that mean? Well, you got cheesemakers who make the cheese. You got those little mice or rats or rodents that like to get some cheese for free. G'day, Steve. The missus will be out shortly. Yeah, so there is the possibility that the cheesemakers from time to time give a little bit of cheese to the cheddar chasers. Sometimes they don't deserve it. A lot of the times they're just greedy little fat mice. You know what I mean. How can you earn cheese? Well, if you work hard as a cheesemaker, you can accumulate quite a lot of cheese, and in your later life you can lounge around and nibble on a bit of cheese from time to time because you've got it there. Like a squirrel, you've stored your nuts away for a later date. But there are the cheddar chasers who prefer other people. You could put it down to an analogy like the lazy squirrel who just wants everyone else to gather their nuts, and then when they find those little hordes of nuts, they want to have a few of them for themselves. Without actually working and saving for them, they just get other people's nuts. But I'm sticking to the analogy of cheese. Many of us are cheesemakers. We produce and have done for many decades large quantities of cheese, like I say, for our later life, so we can sit down and occasionally just grab a little bit of cheese when we need it. But the cheddar chasers, who are they? I'm interested in what you think a cheddar chaser is. Is it someone that's just lazy and wants other people to provide the cheese for them all the time and become little fat mice or rats or squirrels doing nothing to actually earn the cheese, but to, with their little tiny paws, beg a little bit of cheddar every now and then. But now and then, these cheddar chasers, they can smell cheddar miles away. JP says, the quite little mouse in an old school trap the other day with cheese for bait crushed its head. Well, that could be a solution, JP. Maybe we could set a little trap for all these cheddar chasers. And just little portions of, you know, our cheddar that we've saved over many years and worked hard for, get their head crushed in a trap. Becomes the boss. But yeah, cheddar chasers. I mean, there are genuine mice who literally have, through no fault of their own, through circumstance, found themselves in hard times where cheddar is not available, and the goodness of the heart of the people around them usually help. It's in real life. Mrs. brought out. Say hello to the missus.
I'm going to make a coffee in a minute.
JP's here.
Oh, is that my little...
That's your little cutie.
That's my
a
little
little Gold
cutie.
Coast bodybuilder with
My little pumpkin.
8 sets of apps.
Little pumpkin.
Oh, did I say apps or abs? I think I meant apps. Yeah, he's got apps everywhere. But yeah, cheddar chasers, are they a detriment to society? Well, we're always going to have them. They're always going to be there. But I would like to think that if these cheddar chasers are in their thousands, that equally, some of my cheddar is spread equally amongst them. Not to just one fat rat. Because all you end up with is a lazy fat rat expecting to get free cheddar all the time. And then you've got the weird cheesemakers who literally give cheddar to people who don't deserve it, or should I say rodents who don't deserve it. And sometimes those cheesemakers like the reaction of the crowd for the attention to be brought their way as a cheesemaker, even though they don't really believe in the cheddar chaser and they know he's a detriment and a deviant to society. The cheesemakers sometimes think, I'll just give them something so the other people can see me and I become the centre of attention. Get it? So some cheesemakers are indeed, good morning VMAC, some cheesemakers are indeed a little bit of antagonistic. They like to actually stir the pot, you know, get the whey out of the way and keep the curd and spread it amongst all these deviant rats. But the truth is these cheddar makers that do that, you know, the cheese makers who do that and they deliberately give cheddar to people who are undeserving, what happens is that these cheese makers disappear. They have their little bit of fun feeding a very fat rat some cheddar in front of other cheesemakers, and the cheesemakers say, you're doing the wrong thing, you shouldn't give him anything. And it goes through a process where the cheesemaker eventually leaves. Because all of my good friends here understand that we've seen many cheesemakers come along to seek the attention and given cheddar to undeserving fat rats, and then they disappear. I could name them, but I'm not going to, because it's just a case of time for the current cheesemaker who's giving the very large fat rat copious amounts of cheddar. But I think the alternative motive is for that cheesemaker to gain attention. Look at me. I'm a cheesemaker. I got shitloads of cheese. I'm going to give a bit over there to the cheese choocher and to the guy who sits in, the rat who sits in a van, choocher. You can't really chooch in a van though. I mean, you can sort of wiggle your ass a little bit, but you're not really moving. Hello, Jojo. Here we go, more abuse from seeds to YouTube. Not abuse, simply an observation, Jojo. I'm comparing cheesemakers, good morning, Mike, to people who give very large rats portions of cheddar when they're undeserving. I mean, I'm sure the great rat in the sky would suggest that unless you actually work for your cheddar, you shall not eat cheddar. I'm sure that would be written if it was the rodent Bible.
Aren't you doing your void complaint department?
Oh no, that's in 2042, if that's RV asking. Yeah, between 8 and 8:01 AM. Be quick, there'll be a queue. If you don't get through, it doesn't matter. But don't you see the analogy of cheesemakers? VMAC's a cheesemaker, Jojo's a big producer of cheese, JP's a large producer of cheese, Mr. Angel produces cheese, I produce cheese. And we do from time to time, on occasion, slice a small portion of that cheddar and we hand it to a deserving rodent who is down on their luck. Maybe their tail's fallen off. Maybe they've got a claw caught in a trap, or in JP's case, their head crushed by a rat trap. It's nothing wrong in helping the odd rodent with a little bit of cheddar. Don't get me wrong. Every animal deserves to live a life, be it with large quantities or a small amount of cheddar. Good morning, Ross. But the analogy for me is not lost. Cheesemakers all around us, every one of us are cheesemakers. Other terminology used in the 20th century would have been hamming and egging, you know, a ham and egger. But we, I'm particularly where I give my cheese to, says VMAC. I agree. You should be. You work hard. You produce that cheese. You've done all that labour intensive over many years, and you've stored away a big cellar full of, well, hopefully a big cellar full of large round cheddar. And at your will, as you wish, when you get a bit older, you pull a few slices of cheddar off and use it to purchase other goods. You know, cheddar is cheddar. But when you see someone like a cheesemaker come along and do this freely giving away cheddar to one person, it's pretty easy to work out psychologically. The cheesemaker doesn't really care who it was, as long as it's someone who was antagonistic. G'day, Mel. Good evening to you. We nearly had a storm, didn't we? Didn't happen.
Yeah.
And but what happens is, what you're seeing at the moment with this cheesemaker is that this particular large mouse is giving large quantities of cheddar to a deviant and to someone who doesn't deserve the cheddar at all. But it's not lost on me what's happening. It's the cheesemaker who wants the attention, irrespective of the fat rat living in a can. So it's the cheesemaker who's on display here. Don't Don't mince any bones about this. It's the cheesemaker that wants attention, wants the it could be hatred, it doesn't matter. It's a narcissistic approach, as long as there's attention given. And in the end, it becomes overwhelming for the cheesemaker. It really does. That cheesemaker will, mark my words, disappear into the rat holes of the past, along with all the other very large rats who produced large quantities of cheddar and gave it to the fat rat in a can. Mark my words. It's only a matter of time before this cheesemaker, the one we're talking about, disappears. When that rat cheesemaker disappears and there's no more free cheddar for the very large rodent in the van, there'll be a hue and cry by the cheddar chaser. You know, the cheddar chaser in the van. He'll say things like, "Where are you? You've forsaken me. Where are you, my God of cheese?" And he'll turn to the Bible of the cheddar and he will say, "Unto the Jesus did stand on the hill and say, Blessed are the cheesemakers, giveth unto fat rats in a van." No, he didn't. Never said that at all. Big nose? Who are you calling big nose? Watch it. But the truth is, the cheddar maker that you're seeing at the moment is going to disappear. Again, mark my words. I'm not looking into a crystal ball. I'm doing an observational comment, because all the other fat cheesemakers disappeared as well, didn't they? There was a little ginger cheesemaker who worked very hard for his cheese. He worked in the forest producing cheese by chopping down cheese trees. You know, the odd cheddar oak. And he would save all his cheddar. And he would bring it on little trips in his little possum van. And occasionally he came across this fat rat in the van, and he's generally feel sorry for him, this little ginger mouse, and he gave him some of his cheddar. And sure enough, what happened when he stopped giving? The fat rat in the van, who loves free cheddar, called him out saying, "Where's my free cheddar? Did you not listen to the Sermon on the Mount about the cheesemaker shall giveth to the fat rat in the van?" Well, that little redhead mouse has woken up to the guise of a greedy cheddar chaser and no longer provides, and has actually given some advice in a video recently, and I can't repeat some of the words that little red-headed mouse called, but it indeed was appropriate. So all the other things you're seeing at the moment, irrespective, and I'll go back to what I've said before, I don't care how much cheddar people give a fat rat in a can. I don't care. It's not important to me, because if that fat rat in a van has major psychological problems, he may eat well, but all you're doing by giving large quantities of cheddar to him is actually killing him quicker. We are going to witness, probably for the first time, a well-predicted event. Do you remember that Monty Python movie where Mr. Creosote's sitting at the table? Remember Mr. Creosote? "Oh, bring me a bucket of this now." And of course the waiter comes over after, "Oh, I don't want any more." And the waiter says, "Just one more wafer thin mint to finish off the evening." "Oh, all right then. Give it here." Monty Python fans, you would have enjoyed that. I did. Mr. Creosote exploding by just having one wafer thin piece of a mint chocolate after a very large meal. Now, I didn't see the event today, but apparently the rat in the van who loves free cheddar was given a bucket of cheddar, and he swapped it for a bucket of crabs, apparently. But they couldn't fit all the crabs on the cheddar chaser's one plate, so apparently I've been advised this cheddar chaser, the rat in the van, ordered or went and picked up 8 plates of large crabs and other goodies. Must have been like Goldilocks Day. "Oh, look, porridge." And basically, the only thing that didn't happen today is someone, after that meal for the rat in the van, the cheddar chaser, didn't come up to him and said, "Would you like a wafer thin piece of a mint chocolate?" That would have done it, I believe. So, being cheese producers, as we are, all of us, we literally discern as we get older, because we've worked hard for our cheddar. You know, I wasn't given a lot of cheddar free. I'm sure none of you were. Maybe the odd small inheritance here or there you might have got, but you've worked hard to save your cheddar. And you discern with whom you will give a little slice of cheddar to help. We've done that. My wife and I actually do slice small portions off our cellar of cheddar, just little slices every now and then to help those deserving mice. And they need it sometimes. But they're not the sort of cheddar chasers, they're just mice who have come across hard times. And don't stop giving small portions of your cheddar if you can afford having a large cheddar bank to someone who is in need. A little bit of cheddar goes a long way. But you know when those people are genuine and they thank you for that piece of cheese and they move on. But it's the cheddar chasers who turn it into a profession and want to literally have all the cheese they can. But I believe, and I haven't seen the video and I don't really want to go and watch it, but who on earth has 8 plates of crab legs and other sundry items as one meal? I mean, you could have airdropped that into the Congo, maybe in a small village that, you know, through drought. 8 plates of crab legs would have fed the village, and they probably would have turned the bones into soup. It would have lasted a week. But one person for one meal, you know, this rat in a van is getting very large on the cheddar. In fact, it's getting to a cardiac state. I'm pretty sure that rats given too much cheese will die. But this is just my analogy for the night, and I'll finish shortly and we'll talk about other things. But isn't it unto us cheesemakers to make sure, as a group of cheesemakers, that if we are going to help poor unfortunate rats or mice, that we do it with a discerning and a decision making that's based on fact. And when you see someone deliberately continue, a fat rat in a van, stick their little paw out to get some free cheese, I suppose in the beginning a little bit of cheddar didn't go a long way. We got some nice wine smell. But in the end you're seeing this rat getting enormous. Mr. Creosote in a van is what it's become. A very large creosote rat. And we all know what happens with creosote. If it builds up, it blows up. But it's very sad on one level. It's like watching a young juvenile rat living in a large balding. Rats go bald as well. And he has some funny tendency, the bald rat in this van. He doesn't go out with lady rats. He prefers little rats dressed in tutus. You know what I mean? And he likes to chase their ones. But I predict that the current cheesemaker who's delivering free cheddar to a very large rat, undeserving, doesn't need it, in fact could live off the own visceral fat within his own body for 2 months. Easily. Just stick a straw in it. Mel's had too many wines. I get off the cheddar making, but I'm sure you see my analogy. But I do predict, without doubt, the current cheesemaker providing the fat rat in the van free cheddar is coming to an end. Mark my words. I am not going to be wrong, because this game is played for the attention of the cheesemaker, not the fat rat. Anyway, on that very serious note about cheesemakers and cheddar chasers, we'll end that particular hangout and we'll just start another one. Are you ready? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the complaints department of... No, sorry, that's not right. That's not for a while. How is everybody? I'm sure I lost you along my analogy about the cheesemakers and the cheddar chasers, but I had fun, and that's the main thing. Mr. Norton F. is Dave the Fisherman confirmed 1000%. All right, Darren. It matters not. My prediction that the cheddar will stop flowing stands. But how is everybody? It's been a beautiful day here, about 100 degrees. It's now, I showed it earlier, it's now cool 81.6 degrees Fahrenheit at, what is the time now?
I don't know.
Do you want to have a look on your phone?
7:30.
7:30 at night, 81 degrees. Well, I don't know about any of you other cheesemakers, but I would hate to live that life. I mean, pretending you're a king, for starters. I mean, there are no king rats. Rats are all equal, in my eyes. They're just living gutters and behind bins or vans that don't have shitters. But pretending to be a king, which you're not. Pretending to like to go after women, and you don't. It's another lie. And all the issues that he faces in regards to reality, for him, don't exist. He truly believes most of what he says. And that's very sad. There's only one direction. Even like I say, when you have a problem in life, all right, you have a major problem in life, even if someone gave you $1 million, you're still left with the problem. Until you solve the problem, you're just a problem with money. And in the fat rat's case, he'll just get bigger and bigger until one day there are no videos for a week or two, and then a so-called friend of the fat rat will call up and say, oh, he had a cardio. He's in blah 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 rat hospital receiving cheddar infusions. That's what's going to happen.
Night, all windows open.
Who said that?
Day, Dreamweaver.
Where are you, Dream? We're in Perth with Mel. We haven't drunk as much wine as Mel, though we have got wine.
We're having coffee.
We're going to have a coffee. It's only, it's 81 degrees, so it's quite cool. I nearly put the jumper on. I can't send you anything direct. We got some, you should go and grab a bottle of one of your nice wines and show Mel. Mel, do you know the MS lottery, where you buy a ticket to help charity? We've done it 3 times. We just did it for the 4th time recently, and the next one that's coming up. We've won out of the first 3 times twice, and both times it's been bottles of wine. The first one was good a couple of years ago, but this one is superb. We end up getting 2 cases off them. I can't hear you very good. Is that because you're stuck in a bottle, Mel? Just stick your nose out the top. 26C here at 10:30. Yeah, what's it in Celsius for me? 27.4. That's where we're at the moment. I missed that bit. I don't get to see, apologies if I missed some of your comments on my little screen with my old eyes. I don't get to see all of them. They come on and they disappear. I have Instagram. I didn't know you had Instagram.
I've had it for years, I've told you that.
Oh, no, I just don't use any of that. Norm is not Dave, he's a real guy from Toronto, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, he's a real cheesemaker.
Queenslander.
But he's not going to be around for much longer. There's several reasons why, I know, but I'll just leave it to unfold. That cheesemaker will soon disappear, because the attention that that particular cheesemaker sought is not what he wanted, and it's turning out a bit of a disaster as an exercise for attention seeking. Mark my words, that cheesemaker will drift off into the caves of forgetfulness.
What's your email address? Yeah.
On Yahoo it's seeds59, so SEEDS 59 at yahoo.com. Yeah, it's more to the point, VMAC, if you can see what I'm saying. This particular rat that he's donating to, I don't think he approves of him at all. It's a game. It's a bit like Coates. Remember Coates used to play that game as well, but Coates is well and truly realised now. But this cheesemaker, giving all this cheddar, has found out the attention he's received, he doesn't like. He's not been the benevolent provider. When you provide for people who get good amounts of cheddar, you literally have the possibility of building on it. You know, you work hard and you save your cheddar. But just to ask for cheddar every day, like the little rat, or the big rat in the van, it really boils down to, it's a sad future.
Is that the real one? Dreamweaver's in...
I don't know. If that's the real one, I think by public opinion, we'll just boot him. What do you think? I'll leave it to you. My wife's going to remove the rat who needs to go back and sit on his pile of cheddar. Thank you, Awesome. Very kind of you. But please just remove him. We don't need cheddar chasers in the room. We're talking about them, not to them.
Go Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Awesome. You're so quick.
Cheddar chasers, like I say, some are genuine, and small little mice who need help every now and then with a small portion of cheese, not a problem. But big fat rats who live in unsanitary conditions, who ask for large copious amounts of cheddar every day, can only have one thing coming, and that is a cardiac arrest. I don't know whether the large rat in the van realised what visceral fat is. I'll just say it again slowly so you can Google it, Mr. Rat. Visceral fat. Not the fat you can see on the outside. The fat on your organs, on your liver, your heart, your kidneys, everywhere. Slowly but surely choking your body to death. Not allowing nutrients to be processed properly, meaning some of those wall rat bags that you use for disposal of rat feces ends up being a bit like liquid, doesn't it, Mr. Rat? You worked that out yet? Why? You know, fibre is something that you might like to try. Maybe around the edge of the large piece of cheddar on the ground, you might be able to find some greens. It is receptacle where there are ships, rats, cats work for my cheddar. They do. In fact, I used to have an old cat for 20 years, VMAC, in a warehouse when I had the Pepsi franchise. And it never used to come inside, but it would always bring up, every morning I go out about 5:36, bring out all these dead mice. I'd hear him, meow, and he just sit there, and all he wanted was a pat on the head. And then the cat just disappeared for the day. Lived for 20 years. Remarkable cat. See, he didn't ask for cheddar, he just wanted a little bit of attention. Got it, thank you very much for killing all the mice. And went about his day. You know, cats do that, they sleep until night time.
Did you hear what I said that Dreamweaver was in Queensland?
Yeah, it's warm there. It's a bit warmer here, but we're the end, Dreamweaver. We're just about finished with summer. I assure you, Mel will be saying next week, oh, how bloody cold is it? Because it does drop off in temperature quite quickly. Pre-packaged Soylent Green here. That's a good idea, Mike. I'm pretty sure that Charlton Heston still produces that, even though he's not here. I'm sure the company still goes. Does anyone else know what Soylent Green is? Damn you! Soylent Green. It's an interesting product. One quiz question. I don't need to, Mike Law's already got the answer. It's people. That's right. Soylent Green was all about recycling. There you go. Recycling at its best. I'll put you through to Studio 2 now. You've had my cheddar chasing analogy. I'll put you through to the producer. Thanks very much. Bye. Hang on. Bye. Bye.
What are you doing? That's just not good there. Tricks are going to have to wait for a while. So,
What if Awesome's got her bags packed? It's only a few weeks away.
yours is showing 17. I've only got 3. We're in different rooms.
I don't know. So is Awesome packed, ready to go?
Yeah, you've packed Awesome for your bowl of soup.
Soup of the day. Let's not
Soup of the
minimise the
day.
reward.
Just for you, JP. All packed. Yep, she's all packed.
Bring something warm.
Coffee.
Thank you very much. Yes, so it's just a comfortable 80. Nice actually. It's not hot. It's been sticky all day, but tonight's not too bad.
Soup today. Yep, I have to go back in. I had ridiculous lag for some reason. JP, Awesome Hooker has won last night's quiz. So she has to get herself to England.
Find her own accommodation.
Find her own accommodation. But she won We will pay for soup of the day at a restaurant in a porcelain bowl with a real spoon. Not this plastic stuff. It will be real. Hey, Aussie Cheddar. Oh, here. It's just I can't read that quick.
Oh, well, I can't read it all because I've got nothing. But I've got my wife's phone now, so I can keep an eye on you all. I think
Soup
Awesome
in a real bowl.
removed,
Yes, in a real porcelain bowl with a real spoon. Now, let's hope the soup of the day is the one you like.
I'll even personally make the soup. Awesome. There you go. I mean, if you're going to spend $6,000 to get there and have 5-star accommodation, I do expect you want the best quality soup given.
I know, JP. It's great prizes, eh? I mean, usually it's just like a trip to Europe, but of course at your expense for the flight and the accommodation.
Did we ever tell JP that I actually went on a show and won money, $1 million show?
I think you did tell JP.
I think I did, yeah. Back in 1999, the same weekend, Plugger kicked 1,000 goals.
Yeah. 2287. No, 2287. What's that? I can't, we've got Morse code happening in the room. What's going on? What's 2287?
It's a code for a movement. He's got a SWAT team going somewhere. JP, when did you actually go on your trip over there? I think it was only about...
Oh, postcode 2287. Coast.
I think it was July. Was it July?
Area code. Okay.
August that you went there?
Code.
Can I just finish talking?
Sorry.
Just for a sec? Was it July, August that you went to the UK, JP? I'm just trying to remember when you actually went over there. Well, I mean, I can't talk if you're just going to keep interrupting. You might as well join the drama community.
I'm not saying
Seriously.
anything. I'm just
Awesome. Just invite her up when all those other drunks are up there,
I'm just
right?
sitting here looking at the public. Talk. Go for it. It's yours. The floor is yours.
September, yeah. Would have been warm, obviously. It's quite warm. Ireland not so much, but in the UK it's quite warm. Well, not our warm, but... What happened to the rock show? Awesome.
She put a quick little video up saying
Oh,
that,
did she?
yeah, she had other things she had to sort out, so it got cancelled.
Oh, that would be organising the flights and the...
Yeah, it was
accommodation, I
organising,
imagine.
yeah, to get to England.
All last minute stuff, of course. Be a bit cooler where Aussie is. He's nearer the coast.
Oh yeah, Ozzy, how's your weather down there today?
Sticky. It's sticky here.
It was horrible here today, actually.
No, you wouldn't have, JP. September, I remember when I lived as a kid in the UK, September can be really warm.
Finished talking?
Yes, thank you for allowing me to speak freely without interruption. I appreciate it. I'll email you.
Yeah, we had 37, and it was, yeah, humid. It was horrible.
Yeah, we nearly had a storm about an hour ago, Aussie, but the clouds built up and they blew away. Might get something tomorrow morning, maybe. Forget what rain looks like.
Oh, off to LA. Oh, that's right. Yes, yes, you did tell us. You'll be fine, JP.
This is a big moment, red carpet.
Yeah.
You too, we jump the rope, you get on there with his hide tuxedo and walk down and wave to the crowd.
I'm a celebrity.
Yeah. I'm a celebrity, you just don't know it yet.
Bit cold moving.
-8.
No, thank you. Did you get nothing down there, Aussie? Usually you do get storms down there. We had some beauties when we lived where you are.
Well, I could see it. It came from the northeast and just drifted off to the hills. But the wind changes in the morning. We might get something on the coast if we're lucky. So what's else been happening on the bottom of YouTube, guys? Have you been to any exciting hangouts? I got up early this morning to get onto Awesome Hooker's Crystal show and waited, had a coffee, made another coffee,
I would have been late.
waited.
I would have been late anyway because actually I was dealing with my grandson. Oh no.
What?
She threw her back out. Well, you have to read it. The comment's gone. I can't finish reading it.
Who threw it back out?
Awesome. Read it.
Had to go to the ER last night, threw my back out, having too much sex. I can't read the real fine words here. Had shots in my ass, felt good, asked him to do it again. Can't sit for oh, you're lying on your side, aren't you?
Oh.
Not nice.
I can,
Maybe you should put a healing crystal next to the injury.
actually you can. Awesome, you can put your crystals near you. I'll send you some, distant healing.
We'll send JP around with his pole and he can dance for you for a few hours. You won't even feel the pain.
I can still hang out from bed. No, it would have been too hard, JP.
No,
Would
you'd
you
everyone
have-
say, hello, Mama Awesome, how are you?
Yeah. Oh my God, no. No, I'll send you some healing.
Oh,
Awesome.
it's the RAC Bully. Good evening, good morning to you. Bully.
Hello. I just say the.
It's in reference to the old chat program. Remember IRC? The green screen IRC?
I remember.
The bully.
No.
Does anyone else remember? Obviously the RAC Bully does. Anyone else remember IRC?
Oh, I do
The
Reiki.
black screen and the green print?
Oh, well, that's good. We can both send a Reiki.
That was early 90s computer
Oh,
technology.
yes. Now I remember what you're talking about. Yeah. Yes. He is crazy.
So do they suggest that it's nerve more so than muscle? Awesome. I.e. At joint out pressing on a nerve, is that what it is? Is it lower back or is it right near the scapula?
Yep, we can organise that, Mike. I'll put Seed's email in again.
Yes, we've got, well, I understand a lot of them, but my wife's got many crystals.
I been doing Reiki for about 30 years.
I'm thinking, Bully, that was probably early 90s, 92, 93, the IRC, if I remember correctly. I started bringing out the first sort of video games and things like that. My kids had them. I still can't play them.
Sciatica. Oh my God, yep, I've had that.
Yep.
Where I couldn't even get out of
So
the
is that
car.
going right down to the knee? Awesome. It's obviously centered, but is it going up to the knee, into the back of the neck and all that awful stuff?
I don't do essential
No.
oils, and I use crystals, but I'm not that knowledgeable. I go with my intuition with all that stuff.
I had several sport injuries, Hooker, and one of the best reliefs I found, even though it's very awkward to do, is to sit on the ground if you can and put your hands inside your legs, spread your legs a little bit. I'm not being naughty here. Spread your legs a little bit, get a comfy, do a little bit of gentle rocking, and then try and every now and then push your hands out along the ground as far as you can and hold. That was told by me, by a sports specialist when I was playing sports, and it worked. It didn't take away all the sciatica, but it certainly realigned some of the joints in my back. But just be very careful doing it. But painkillers just take the pain away. The sciatica, if it's a joint displacement, you'll have to have something done. Maybe
Yeah,
have YouTube removed from your bum. That'll fix it.
sciatic. That's horrible. Never suffered with it until I had my first kid. JP, what are you doing? JP is playing games. Give him a wrench. You know, give him.
Oh, I think what is a little bit of payback going on. I only boot e-beggars, and we had one large rat
And Awesome
come in
got that
tonight,
one.
and Awesome got that one. I have no problems with anyone else. People can attack me and all that. I don't care, free speech and all that. But people who do that cheddar chasing, I don't particularly appreciate. So they never last in my room.
It's fun sometimes watching internal little squabbles.
Ah, so this is a bit of payback for banning people. Look, I mean, the bully is not 100% behind the large rat in the van. Trust me. I've known the bully a long time, and yes, he plays games and
Now,
likes to take the piss out of people. But if you asked him out now, does he support the rat in the van? His honest answer would be no.
now, JP, don't you time VMAC out. Well, oh, that's good, Awesome.
Yeah, the stretching, and it went against my natural instincts after I had my sciatica. I was shirt fronted really heavily, and it went on for about a week. But doing these stretches and just easing out as far as you can forward with your hands on the ground and trying to hold, I actually felt things move in the lower.
Awesome. Can you get some Rescue Remedy? Have you heard of Rescue Remedy? I just keep blowing kisses in the screen because I must look so boring to these people. Yeah, water therapy is good, Mel. It's true.
Water
Yep.
is good, but also because it makes you loose. Any sharp movement in the water with sciatica can be like an electric shock.
Okay, Rescue Remedy. It's expensive here. I don't know. It usually comes in a small bottle. It's made of bark flowers and it's called Rescue Remedy. It says it's money for stress, but it's also good for other things. And what you do is put about 10 drops, comes with an eyedropper. You put about 10 drops in your water bottle and just drink it for half the day. Like, I don't go over more than 20 drops a day. Or you can directly put it under your tongue. It just relaxes you.
Yeah, if that doesn't work, I've got a shed full of snake oil then if you're interested. That should do the trick.
No, it's good stuff. Rescue Remedy. It's amazing. It just helps with a lot because you're probably feeling stressed because you've got this. Then you tense up. That makes it worse. Where Rescue Remedy relaxes and eases everything.
The thing that eventually fixed my spine was I went on a chiropractor's rack. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, it's not much different than the rack they used in old dungeons. Literally pulls your spine. No inversion, but on a flat, slightly leaning backwards if you like, but I don't know, it worked for, I was in that position for about 20 minutes, and then after it eased up and I got up, I thought, geez, that's good. The spine is a very tricky little thing connected with all these nerves, particularly the sciatica.
Oh, that's unusual, Mel. I've got to say, I've never heard of a Rescue Remedy affecting someone the opposite way.
I don't know.
It's like anything, all natural things, even they have to be taken in moderation. Just because it's natural doesn't mean that you can, oh, I'll just take double. You can't do that. You still have to follow what it says. So maybe that's what happened, Mel.
Problem with sciatica, Awesome, there's no doubt you're doing it right now. You're moving from one position to the other, trying to make the pain less. Oh, that hurts less. I'll lean that way. I know what it's like. It's an internal toothache. You know, gnawing toothache is bad, but when it's in your spine, no matter where you move, it hurts.
I missed what Mel said.
She had a car accident, so it may be different for her as well.
Yeah, and just read what Mike said.
Mike said, Mel, there's a specific flower for
ADHD. Yeah.
ADHD, not the rescue blend.
Yeah.
I mean, this subject is one that I've said for the last few years. It frustrates me because when I was younger, no one had nut allergies, no one had ADHD, no one had these things. No one had autism, and I'm not trying to belittle anyone
Racker
with those
ribs.
conditions now, but it didn't exist. And I've always believed the food we eat is what we become. So if there are all these chemical imbalances and preservatives and additives, believe me, we haven't had them for thousands of years.
Hi, SV.
So that's what I think. G'day, SV.
I'm.
But I truly believe that's what is causing a lot of the problems today with children is the food that they're eating.
Oh, that's not good, Mel. Mel, you're not far. Anytime. Oh, well, I don't have a massage table right now. I'd give you a Reiki, Mel.
So you had a brain injury, so that was a concussion? Did you have a bleed or did you have brain swelling and they had to alleviate that, Mel? Mate of mine had that. Very severe injury in sport. Even you get eye aches with any sort of fluid on the brain.
Oh, gosh.
Yep, I've had friends that have broken their neck
Oh, Mel.
and they're here today. And we had a member of
Well, I have
the
a.
family years ago that just fell off a motorbike. It wasn't even moving. Fell forward, landed on the ground with a big helmet and broke a neck. She was dead instantly. No problem. Well,
Yeah, that's not good, Mel. I have a healing book. I'm going to write all your names in there. Say praise and send you all healing.
do you know Awesome? It's more than that. Awesome says that they give labels now for doctors to get paid from insurance. They do. But in the old days, Mel, when I was a kid, it was very common that your doctor, you didn't go visit your doctor at all. He would pop in every couple of weeks to see how the people are going. That's what doctors used to do. Doctors were never stationary in a office of their own. They may be at a hospital, but there was no such things as doctor's surgeries when I was a kid.
We
The
landed
doctor
in
knocked on the door and said, "How's everyone going? All right? Young fella, I'll give him a bit of this, bit of that." Usually a lot of old remedies, but now, I hate to say this, but it's true, doctors have just become body mechanics,
Did you
going through the motions.
read what Mel wrote?
Mel wrote, "Oh, we landed in my future husband's yard. Oh dear."
And then she's like 22 years later still with him.
Well, there must be
Yes, you
something
can,
going on.
JP. I can add you. I didn't get to see what you wrote, but anyway, Cecil will tell me.
He says that he had a brain injury too. I'm not using it as an excuse for my behaviour, but I did in 2004. I think when he got onto the train tracks and stopped a moving diesel train barehandedly.
What'd you
Put a bit
do?
of pressure on his spine.
What happened, JP? Come on, spill the beans. What happened?
That's for Danya Kopit.
It's amazing what some people go through, what they live through, what happens to them. Car hit me years ago, changed my life. No one's living a man's body. Yeah, wow.
I was 8 when I got hit by a car. I went underneath it, rolled over, broke my right leg in 8 places. And if I let you, permit you to, run your fingers down my shin in particular,
When I was
you
drunk.
can see where the bones were been fused.
Oh, JP. Doesn't matter. I'll still send you healing. He fell over when he was drunk. Well, did that teach you a lesson?
Well, you could consider that a sporting injury, probably after a game or something, a few drinks with the boys.
I'm trying to think. I've had a few stitches. I've had stitches under here when I was little. In the old Ford, there was steel bars on the back seat, and we were sitting, us girls were sitting right in the back, and Dad went over a bump and my chin hit the steel bar. Blood everywhere. Then I have stitches in my knee from falling on a brick.
I've got a beauty of a
I
scar
have a
on my chest.
burn scar somewhere.
Looks like I've been opened up with a
Actually,
sabre.
I'm pretty blessed. I'm thankful. I haven't had, touch wood, what some of you people have just written yous have gone through.
I know, VMAX says, I've only had one injury, a broken arm. That would have been when it was her turn to buy drinks.
For JP.
Hmm?
Then she pushed JP.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then he got drunk and he fell over and hit his head.
So I broke my little toe. I had my son, he was a couple of months old. I was moving the high chair and I knocked it and it fell on my little toe. So I've broken my little toe. But no, I'm pretty thankful. I've got to say I had a good upbringing, good childhood, good life, great parents, bless them both. Um, yeah, I've got
You're very
really
lucky
nothing
there,
to
JP.
complain.
Spiral staircases are a nightmare. I'll give you a story that probably only Australians can relate to. I was up in Darwin just after Cyclone Tracy. There was a guy in an FB Holden ute, which is an old Holden. And what it was, he got pissed
I
on
see,
Christmas
Mike.
Eve and went down an embankment and half rolled his car and was just so pissed he slept through Cyclone Tracy. I'm kidding you not.
Yeah, he did. Because he was that drunk.
Just woke up and said, geez, did I do all that?
Yeah, I had just a normal life, no, but I have some extraordinary memories with my family. But I just sort of, what some people have
See,
gone
Mike?
through, listening to other people's stories. I don't want to be morbid or anything, but again, it's interesting to hear what people have gone through as they grew up and what their life was like. But apart from those injuries, I haven't really touched wood. I've got everything. My two sisters have had their appendix out, their gallstones out, their tonsils out, boob job. No, just kidding. You've had your gallstones out.
I have. I had 2 operations in a short period of time.
You're going to show your scar.
Just the
I
scar.
don't want them to get too excited. You want to see a scar?
Just slow down. Move it down. Move it down. Yeah. Let's put on you there.
Show me your scar.
Normally, I came from. Yeah, put it on you for a while. I came from a very large, close knit family. Yeah, we're a close knit family.
You're right, just give us
He usually your gallstone scars is only about that big because they do it like keyhole surgery nowadays. But because seeds was so bad, and I kid you not, the stone
Or one
was
of
a
the
part
stones.
of the big stone was like that. I kid you not. I have a picture of it somewhere, and I did keep the stone for a while. But yeah, a few busted fingers. No, I haven't had that either.
I've had a few playing footy. Still
Oh,
got
well, I mean, the worst one, yeah, it's a pretty long scar. They had to open up quite a bit.
that'd be right, awesome. Meow.
And then, of course, the injuries he caught playing sport. That's why they called him the Rock. He broke a lot of bones in his sporting time, but they were never his.
No, the only injury I ever got was the shirt front. Gave me the sciatica, but I did break a lot of bones. Not intentionally, I just had eyes for the footy.
Oh, and a prison officer who got stabbed a few times.
Part of the job.
Ugh.
I had internal stitches on this operation. The scar is about 23, 24 inches long, and internal stitches, but the staples they put on you on the outside, they fascinated me. I'm thinking I'm just going to burst open any minute now.
Oh, God, JP. You just, are you thankful every day? Blessed for your life now? On your feet? Oh, yeah. Yes, we do, VMAC. Come on, he starts the story, he's got to finish it. Tell us, JP.
No, we never wore shoes, did we, SV? I don't even wear shoes now. The best you'll see me in is a pair of leather sandals or just bare feet. All my kids were the same. Walking on double G's, which you probably wouldn't know. A lot of you wouldn't know what a double G is, but it's a very spiky
Yeah.
nut thing
Worse
that
than
gets
an-
stuck in your foot about half inch. You just ended up, feet being so tough, you just scrape them off.
Worse than bindies. Prickles, whatever people call them in different countries.
Another bad one in WA is calthrop, double-headed. A lot of our bloody pest plants come from South Africa, believe it or not. That's where the double G came from.
Well, that's true, JP. Sciatica is very hard to get rid of once you've got it.
Heat and cold helps. In other words, a cold pack followed by a heat pack followed by a cold pack. It forces circulation to that particular area.
Right. Your turn.
My turn.
Yep, get on camera.
Welcome back to Studio One, everybody.
Thank
Eyes
you.
down for the full
I
house.
think people are sick of watching
4 and
these
2,
poor faces.
42. It's amazing what happens in your life. I mean, my life, I would say probably 3 times I was just about gone without question. But that's not exceptional. That's pretty normal. You imagine getting to live to be 100 years old if you're disease free and you're old and craggy, but you made it to 100. Can you imagine the amount of times that you nearly died? It'd be about a dozen times. One of the biggest killers in this country is over prescribed medications for older people. Kills a lot of them.
It's true. Or everybody's injury and what everybody's been through is can be serious to them and maybe not to others. But everybody has a different threshold of pain, and being able to cope with different things that have happened to them. So
No threshold at all, this one.
I know I've got none. Yet I had kids, but friggin' hell, I'd have kids rather than needles. I tell you.
Yeah, it's not easy to do, but when you're in pain, I don't know how to explain it to you. You think your way through it, particularly with awesome at the moment with sciatica. Just a slight movement and it's like a little electric shock. I found bending my knees up helped as well, awesome. But everyone's individual with that. Sciatica pain can be just predominantly from the hip down, or the back of the spine down to the knee. Terrible. Some people just walk along and fall over. But the amount of times we get away with injury or disease, I mean, when I was a kid, kids died of measles. Kids died of whooping cough. You know, I could give you a whole long list of smallpox was around when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I've had a bike crash.
But it's like,
yeah.
What does that mean? Well, today, my body has a massive amount of immune systems in the body because of what I went through. The kids born today have never heard of these diseases. That's why if measles, just something as simple as measles, years ago when there was an outbreak of measles, it was like, okay. And some people died, some people didn't. But today, the immune systems of our children or our grandchildren have never had the immune system defences for that. So it's a very hard question, and I'm not going to get into this debate about whether you should take a vaccine or not. That's up to every individual. I truly mean that. If you don't want to take vaccines, don't take them. But if you think they might help, because I believe at the moment the new generations we have a terrible immune system. Everybody wipes their house down on the tablecloth, on the tables with Pino Clean or some antiseptic, and it's like perfectly clean. So they don't have any defence mechanism builds up. Kids that get sick and get better and get sick and get better, every time they go through that cycle, their immune system, that's how the body, it's a magnificent machine, the body. That's how the immune system builds its defences.
I can remember to put the bin out tomorrow. No, I'm going in to make more coffee in a minute.
Righto. Yeah, but I don't know about you, but there are several groups in Australia that don't want their children vaccinated, and some horror stories of their kids dying. Again, I'm not telling anyone to do whatever they want to. Not my business. And I'm fortunate enough to have lived through those times where all those diseases that are not here now
Hi, Kathy.
were there. Hello, Kathy.
Yeah, same in Australia, Kathy. You have to be vaccinated before you can go to school.
It's different in Australia. They actually make it really hard not to get your kids vaccinated because you don't... In Australia, people that have children get paid payments from the government. Good morning, Shauna. And if your child is not vaccinated, they can prevent it going to school. They can stop paying you any benefit for having that child. That's how they deal with it here. Very harsh, I suppose. But like I say, I truly believe this new generation, you know, I'm talking young kids under 5, have no immune system like I do. You know, it's more than likely, it's a terrible thing to say, but if we were hit with a massive outbreak of something, all the old people would probably survive before everyone else. Yeah, if any of you heard of that therapy that's being done, it's done in the US and in the UK in regards to, and this is serious,
the bacteria in the guts of older people is being extracted and cultured and put into people's bodies who have terrible immune systems. I forget what it's called, but it actually happens. So from the feces, if you like, of an old person, they take the bacteria, culture it, and then put it into the system of a person's intestine who has very weak immune systems, and believe it or not, it works. So, but that tells me one thing. The immune system of the new generation is so weak compared to what my generations went through. And it's true. VMAX heading out for a walk. Talk to you another time, all right? Don't mug any strangers on your way out, VMAC, and definitely don't bite them.
Have a good walk, VMAC.
Put you back to Studio 2 just for a second.
Keeps moving.
I'm going to finish my coffee.
Studio. So how's your day, Kathy and Shauna? Night? What are you up to? Yeah, high technology.
Very intelligent woman, is Shauna, no question.
Studio 2. Studio 2. Not much so far, trying to wake up. So you need a coffee, Shauna? Yeah. I'll pass you one through the internet.
We drink instant coffee.
What did we do today? We stayed cool because it was very hot here today. We're having some trees.
Organised some building materials.
Yeah, we're having some trees taken out the front because they have to be removed because of we're extending the veranda. They're trees that aren't very good. They're half dead anyway, so they need to come out. SP enjoyed your fig video. Back to Studio 1. Why am I Studio 2? I should be...
I don't know. Alright, you're Studio 1. I don't care. Go and check your Actors Guild certificate and see what it says. Nice cup of tea. I like a cup of tea in the morning. I really do. It's not coffee, but I prefer to start off the day with a cup of tea, for sure. What the missus was saying about the trees, we've got a really big date palm. Mel knows what I'm talking about. It's about 20 foot high, you reckon?
Oh, yeah, but it's not...
Really thick. And it's got to come down because I want the driveway when people come in so Awesome can drive her Ferrari in there and park at the front. We've got a big driveway going up the back, but at the front we'll park 2 or 3 cars. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning.
Quiz mistress.
Good morning, Diane. Yeah, Australians are big on instant coffee. We do have percolated, we do have all your fancy coffees. If we want fancy coffees, we go to cafes. But people have percolators at home and make that sort of stuff.
My son at the moment is taking his daughter on the weekends to get a baby chino. Seriously, it's made just
so
for
cute.
kids.
It's frothy
Find that
milk.
quite funny. So that he has his coffee and she has a baby chino.
Yeah, it's frothy milk.
Yeah, quite funny. But we do like percolated coffee, but we don't mind instant coffee, either granulated or you use a brand called, what's the one you normally get?
International Roast.
International Roast. That's the one you find in many hotels all around the world. You know the little sachets? Just the International Roast.
Yeah, Mel's saying that there's only one date on the date palm.
There is only one, and it's an end date, Mel. It's going at the end of the week.
I don't think there's any dates on that date palm. I think that's just
No, there
what
is.
it's
There's a heap of young dates forming, but it's going.
It's not in the right spot. I'm a cone.
Well, hello, Ed. I would agree with that.
Hi, Ed.
Yeah, Nescafe, we get, what's the one that your sister likes? Moccona.
Yeah, that's what JP just said he likes.
Yeah, there's several types of Moccona, really strong one or mild ones. It's okay, but it does look like cardboard pieces.
And my favourite tea is Twinings, English breakfast.
Yes, nice strong cup of tea.
You like Kona dark roast, Colombian. Whoa, that's strong.
Yeah, you can
isn't it,
actually get
Wilson?
Kona at the coffee shop down there.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I don't know what she's called it over there, but we have a drink called frappe.
Well, that's just milk coffee. Milk
It's
coffee.
blended with ice and ice cream, and then you can get all flavours. Like if you get the caramel one, they blend caramello chocolate in the drink with chocolate and milk and ice cream and ice. Oh, it's so yum.
We take the grandkids down to Dome, which is a coffee shop in Australia, or in West Australia, and they do all those fancy coffees with ice cream and nuts and you name it. It's like a meal. It's not a coffee.
Oh, it's yum. And you, the one you have, yeah, the honeycomb something.
Yeah, mine has honeycomb or something in it. But most coffee shops here, you can get about 50 types of coffee. Nice coffee bean, the dark roast, good. Yeah, I don't mind the old plunger coffee. You just got to get the balance right, not too much and not too little. Aldi has good coffee.
Yeah. I grew up with percolated coffee. With Mum being German, every morning it was a percolated coffee. So we had percolated coffee with toast or Mum's favourite black bread. Actually, I'll go get it. I'll be back. Just enjoy the door or watch me walk in and out.
She's going to go and show you some German black bread.
Or pumpernickel.
Yeah?
I'll just do the sexy
Called
walk
pumpernickel.
in the stairs.
You can leave your hat on. You can leave your hat on. I don't know whether she saw your remark, Diane, but I'll tell her when she gets back. Did you say hello to Diane?
Peekaboo.
Did you say hello to life to Diane?
I did.
Oh, she did. Mel said, how rude.
How rude. Hey, I was trying to do a sexy walk in the door. Yeah, across the studio too. Now this is
Just
pumpernickel.
to show you the bread now.
I've got to remember I've got this because I love this. I'll just...
It's probably going to be very hard to see. Put it real close to the camera. Closer. Closer.
Oh, shut up. Stop directing me what to do. I'm Studio 2. I can do it. It's it's really thin slices. It's only small. Mum just calls it black bread, but it's called pumpernickel. And then you really...
Thin slices, isn't it?
Yeah. What did Ari say? And then you put thick, unsalted butter on it with then cheese. The cheese double the thickness of this bread. Oh, it's so yum. I missed that last lot of chat.
Mel said we got some coffee and barley that come out of some animal. There, it comes out of a monkey's ass, Mel. Hope you enjoyed it.
So we'll do a little video tomorrow. I'll get Cesar to do a video on this if you have never heard of this pumpernickel bread.
For me, it's rich nut. It's rye bread, is what it is. Dark rye, and it's a breakfast bread, really, isn't it? In Germany.
Oh, anytime. What's Mel saying? What's expensive?
Coffee. The monkey shit out of the monkey's bum. You know, they chew the seeds, spit it out, and then they roast the.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I know what you're talking about. Damn, I want another coffee now. Talking about coffee. Excuse me. Let's call the...
What?
Is our housekeeper still there?
I don't know. She's wearing a little French skimpy thing, no? I'll pay her double. Take it up to $6 an hour.
Oh, hey, who says it's female? I could have a shirtless, a guy in there.
Go for it. You're going to piss JP off, that's all I can tell you.
Oh, no. Can't do that. Can't piss JP off.
And I'm pretty sure JP would prefer to see a young, lithe, French maid in a skimpy dress pouring me coffee.
Oh, you can get Vegemite SV. Oh, cool. We're going to take some to England with us. We found the
Yes.
little sachets. JP can be the housemaid.
JP's going to shoot coffee beans and sell them. He's going to get free samples out. Yum.
Hey, well, it's like the koala, the mummy koala feeds her poop to her babies
Yes, she
when
does.
they're born.
Yep. And believe it or not, hear what I said before about immune systems?
Yeah, it helps.
A baby koala has no immune system, so eating the crap of its mother gives it the intestinal bacteria required.
Excuse me,
So
JP.
what JP's coffee is going to do is help you.
JP's two-timing.
Why? Was he talking to Shauna?
Yeah.
She can see a cat anyway.
I'm devastated. I'm just totally devastated.
I didn't see you before, Ari. Welcome.
It is an acquired taste. Yeah, you're right, awesome. So tomorrow we can do a little video on this pumpernickel.
I'll do the video. You talk them through it. It's
Oh,
how
okay,
thin are
Shauna.
they, do you think? Off memory, they're quite thin.
Yeah, I don't know, like that.
Quarter inch maybe.
Like, it's a very rich bread. You wouldn't want more than 2 slices at the most. Mum used to love it thick with butter and then blackberry jam.
Ari Cool says, I need a girlfriend. Now the best way,
Oh.
Ari, or Ari, I think that's probably the better way
Ari.
to pronounce
It's
it,
Ari.
is to go on a street corner with a raw pork chop around your neck. Now, the worst scenario is you have dogs come up to you, and dogs are man's best friends. So if you don't find the woman of your life with the pork chop, you might be able to take home a canine friend.
And I hope you've got a sense of humour, Ari, because, yeah. That's not good advice.
Nothing wrong with puppies.
Stop for a minute. I think I have to go and get the charger. Back to Studio 1. Dingo.
JP. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, that's true, Jordan.
Don't confuse the dog with a girlfriend unless you want to end up being a large fat cheddar chasing rat living in a van. Say no more. May I ask, Ari, if you don't mind, how old you are? Just an old man asking a young bloke how old you are. I don't know, I'm guessing 25? Something like that? I'm from Australia, Ari. I'm in a city called Perth.
Hi, Free Birdie.
Hello, free birdie.
Yeah, poop coffee. That's JP's specialty now. We'll know him as the Poop King.
The best way to attract a woman into your life is not to chase one. Just talk. Hello, would you like a coffee? Here, I'll give you an example. Hello, free birdie. I've never met you before. I like you. Is there a chance that we catch up and talk and just have a coffee? What would you say, Free, to something like that?
Are you talking to us, SV? We have a bounty on wild dogs. Yes.
Pigs, rabbits,
Yeah, we do.
foxes,
Not on
kangaroos.
not the dingoes. It's just the wild dogs and wild cats, the ferals. I used to be a ranger. I used to have to do it right up north of WA. I don't know if you've heard of Tom Price, Port Hedland, Panawanika, SV.
Oh, that's a good attraction. Awesome. Laundry skills. Way to go, Shauna. But the secret is, now for all the women here, tell me if I'm wrong. What women like, and they'll look you up and down and go, nice. But if you have a nice smile and you make them laugh, you're funny, and you're not in their face, and the biggest secret when you first meet a woman is to shut the fuck up and listen. Sometimes talking about yourself to a woman just bores the crap out of them. They want to know that you're interested in them. There we go, Ari. There's the lesson of the day. Casually speak to someone, be pleasant, ask them out for coffee, and listen. That's the secret. Women have so much to say, they have very little time to listen to anything that you're going to say. They've checked you out physically, you have a nice smile, and you aren't invasive of their space. Ari keeps asking where you're from. Ari, I know what you're going to say next. You're going to say it, aren't you? Ari, you're going to say age, sex and location. Ari, don't do that. Please. Toa. Don't flood the chat, Tor. We have some mods in here that will just flick on you in a second because I'm sure you're nice, but they don't like the chat being flooded. So that's the secret, Ari. Just be pleasant, talk, and smile, and listen. There we go. Stop talking, start listening, and smile.
Damn, you're quick awesome. You beat me to it. I was just having to put my phone on the charger because I was going to get him. And JP.
No, they don't make koala poop coffee.
No.
They do make several animals eat, consume the bean, crap it out, it's washed, it's refined, and then it's roasted.
No, the mummy koala feeds the baby koala.
He needs to learn the cheese lesson, Mr. Seeds. Go on, tell him, Mel. I've given him my advice. Listen to Mel now, Ari. He's going to give you the cheese advice.
The cheese advice. Do you want me to make it summary?
Yeah, chasing cheddar. Ari, stop asking how old the women are, please. It's unnecessary. How about try a conversation? Hello, I'm Ari. I'm a multi-billionaire living in Saudi Arabia. Would like to meet someone for fun times and chats.
That's anything awesome. On the phone, how do you check someone's channel? Like, go to their about page. I can't do it on my phone. We'll check up on you, Ari, so behave yourself. We've got some good mods in here. You'll be timed out. Yeah, I don't care telling my age either, but some people don't like to be asked.
My wife is years old.
Okay, everybody guess. I won't be insulted. How old do you think I am?
Be careful. She has a wrench. Mel pretends she's a farmer.
I agree with you, JP.
Awesome's not 47. Jeez. Talk about lying. What, you're trying to get into a disco or something, are you, Awesome? Seriously? You're barely 30. SV's 54? Sound like bingo.
I'm missing that. Oh,
Four.
okay.
JP just turned 41 but has the body of a 18-year-old physical engineer.
I'm 56.
She is, she's 56.
I'm 56.
I'm with you, Shauna. It's one of the things I've carried through my whole life. I can talk to younger people, older people, based on just the conversation.
Yep, that's right, Shauna. Yep. It's no big deal, really.
You are indeed just slightly older than your teeth, that is true.
Or
Awesome.
you're as young as the man you feel.
That's right.
Poor
So
woman.
how old are you this week?
Poor woman.
Oh, that's nice of you, Johnny P. Just take his wrench away, will you?
Mrs. looks good for age. I'm not. Well, have a guess how old Seeds is this year. Was born in 1826.
1812. She has a
1812.
terrible memory. 207 shortly. Mrs. Seeds, I used to call you Jesus. Do you mean Mrs. Seeds or Mr. Seeds?
You.
I've got a short beard at the moment. I've had it much longer. And my hair used to go down to my ass.
Yeah, kept using my curls.
Yeah, I look pretty good for 1812. That's definitely an overture from Shauna. 1812 overture. Get it?
Ari, JP are awesome. Feel free whenever you want.
What's that?
I'm going to make a coffee.
What?
He's saying, Mel, are you a boy?
Mel is a girl.
Yeah, he's 60. You're right, Awesome. He's going to be 60 this year.
Yep. I am indeed.
I think you've upset some people somewhere along the line today because it's two sort of
I don't care.
twats you've had in the room.
I don't care. Twats, idiots, knobheads, fools. Don't mind them. They're all right. But not when they flood. But I only dislike people, cheddar chasers. At the start of this hangout, the cheddar chasers who are undeserving of slices of cheddar from the cheesemakers. Those people I don't like. I don't permit them in. We are vermin free in this hangout. And if you see one, do what JP did when he was younger. Could be the fact that he has a language barrier, but his context of asking everyone age, JP, it's pushing on the 1980s age, sex and location. We're well past that. Yeah, I often thought that. Obviously in Indonesia, we've got family over there. They tell me the story is that it did start in the villages, and it was because the monkeys were going into the fields eating all the coffee beans when they were ripe. And some whiz rinsed them off, roasted them, and said, "My God, this monkey bum coffee is fantastic." And apparently, as Mel will attest to, it costs you probably $6 or $7 Australian to buy a small cup of monkey bum coffee and barley. I think I'll stick with me instant roast, to be honest. Yeah, we've got family in Indonesia. We had some of them over recently. Actually, what we did over here, and I'm not making a big thing out of it, but one of the friends of the family that came over hosts 4 of the major television shows over there. One is The Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune. What was the other one that he hosted?
The Voice.
The Voice, that's right.
In Indonesia.
He does The Voice. He's huge in Indonesia. Here he just sits down, has a quiet beer, and his head's only this big. But yeah, I've met quite a few famous people in my time, and to me they're not famous. They work a job that they're very creative of, and I admire their work, but so you do a builder, a plumber. So I've sat down with Bob Hawke and had a beer. I've told John Howard to go and get fucked. Yeah, I don't think I'd be, clamouring to the batshit coffee stand myself, free birdie. I'm sure it's nice, just the preference is I'll give it a miss.
Batshit coffee?
It would go well for some of the people on the bottom of Boit, free.
Is that
batshit coffee for batshit crazies.
Is that for real, free birdie?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my god. Oh, can't you grow a bee, JP? Have you tried?
It's about 8 o'clock and just below 80 degrees now. Quite pleasant. It's night time, of course. It was about 100, 101, 102 today, but real sticky. Unpleasant. The heat didn't bother me, but being real sticky pisses me off.
Oh my god, all the different things you can get, eh?
Yeah, it's one of those strange things. You'll have people drink all sorts. G'day, Aussie. I'm pretty sure you drink instant coffee, Aussie. We have international roast, isn't it? Yes?
Yes, you're talking Ashwini. Yes, it gets humid here, very humid.
Not all the
actually,
time.
it's not WA, not as bad as Sydney. Yeah.
Sydney's worse than here.
Wow. That's amazing. I've never heard of batshit coffee.
I've heard of batshit crazy. No, I've heard of batshit. There's several animals they punch it through to market it, basically. Should get the rat in the van to punch through coffee beans, perhaps. The new shawarma brand coffee. It's delivered in a Walmart bag. Semi-processed. See you later, SV. Have a good one, mate.
Have a good one, SV.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, and I'm sure you'd all agree with me, is some people down in YouTube, and not just the bottom, but down in YouTube, take themselves far too seriously. Suddenly they're, in their eyes, they're famous. They're like Frank Sinatra, or some big wig, when they're nothing like that at all. They're just like everyone else. But you see a lot of that delusion and self-grandeur that they're so important, when in fact they're just, most of the time, they're nobodies.
Oh yeah, Nescafe Gold's nice.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like all sorts of coffees. What I don't like is bitter coffee. Some Italian brands of coffee, of espresso, are quite bitter to me. Not knocking it. Some people love that, like the short coffee, the little tiny ones. The strongest coffee I've ever tasted was Turkish coffee. You could literally stand the spoon up in the bloody thing. A little tiny cup, you know, the little white cups. And I had about 3 mouthfuls and thought, Jesus.
It's like, what's Mum used to like? The short black? Those little
Yeah,
cups in Terry.
Yep, that's a short black coffee. Very much a pick-me-up early in the morning. I'd rather have it extended with a bit of milk. I don't have sugar in my coffee, but yeah, it's all right. Cheddar chasers finding a cow, but sometimes the cow is not what it is made out to be.
Well, it could be a sheep, Mel. Doesn't, you know.
We would all love the indulgence of living the life of absolute luxury with everyone else paying for our lifestyle. No one would say no to that. But if it's a delusion and it's not true, and you live in a life of abject poverty like a rat in a van, but pretend it's not like that at all, who are you deluding?
Yeah, true.
Only yourself.
True, free birdie.
I wouldn't want that life, wouldn't wish that life on any one of you at all. Most of you people, like me, have a nice house. Most of you could afford to buy an RV if you wanted one. My wife likes 5-star camping.
Yeah,
So
glamping.
generally it has a bar fridge, goodies in there, room service. Ozzy's the digital pimp. He can help him. Looks like Ari's got a manager. But yeah, I used to love just chucking on the beach with a blanket over the top next to the fire, go fishing, diving, all those things. But my wife doesn't like doing it. My grandkids don't like doing that. They prefer a nice big swimming pool with a, you know, drink on hand, food available. They're not really hunter-gatherers like I was when I was younger. I loved catching fresh food. Good morning, Danny G. I'll tell the missus you're here, she's just in the kitchen making another cuppa. But yeah, I don't think many people do that anymore. You know, holidays are one thing, but you know, in your own country, grab a fishing pole, go fishing, camp for the night. I hardly hear anyone do that anymore. Aussies fly me out to Australia nightly for a quick and send me home, private jet and all. Oh, good luck with that one, Shauna.
Are you making me out to be some princess or something? I heard you while I was in the kitchen.
What did I say?
Like 5-star this.
Yeah.
I'm not that bad.
Yeah, you are precious.
Yeah, well, yeah.
She is. She doesn't have to cook, shop,
Excuse me?
cleans on occasions when she opens both the front and back door where the wind blows through.
Oh, Jesus.
That's called housekeeping.
Awesome. Can you just time seeds out, please? Let me finish this first.
Yeah, oh, memory foam. I've got one on my bed. We're going to end up with 5 bedrooms, but everyone's going to have a memory foam. They're absolutely brilliant. Even if you've got a really good mattress. We've got a 8 centimetre.
Yeah.
What's that in inches? I don't know. 4 and a bit inches thick memory foam. Bloody beautiful. And I'm sure awesome. You could do with a memory foam mattress about now with your sciatica. I'll put you back to the boss.
Studio
to
2.
Princess.
No, I'm Studio 1.
I'm going to get a smack. Why am I going to get a smack?
Yeah, because I agree with you, Shauna.
What did I do?
The women know what you did.
You do?
Yes.
I'm intrigued to find out what I did wrong. Memory foam mattresses?
No, talking about that I'm a princess.
She is. She's an angel. Looks
Yeah.
like an angel.
Yep. Yep, that's my song.
Walks like an angel. Mm-hmm. But she's the devil in disguise. Oh, yeah, she is now.
I'm Studio 1, Mel. I've changed it. Seeds is Studio 2. The way he's going, it'll be Studio 4.
Oh, click it up your arm. If I only had an empty piss bottle, I could do some singing about it now.
Oh, yuck.
Well, that's how they do it on YouTube.
Yep, Studio 1. Hi, MB.
Is that MB Raz?
Yep.
We'll be near you in 3 weeks, about then, MB.
Thanks, Danny.
Don't you disappear to a foreign country.
No, MB said she was going to be away somewhere.
Honeymoon.
Too late, Aussie.
What's that?
Aussie said, marry me.
Too late?
MB.
MB is betrothed to a prince. Just wondering, MB, is the Duke and Duchess of Kent invited to the nuptials, or is it too late to get a invitation out to them?
Yeah, well, you were no better, JP. You went to Shauna, so don't go saying Aussie's now chasing MB. So, yeah, come on.
We have a word for that in Australia. You're crawling, mate.
And she's going to be in Denmark in April for work.
What about May?
We're in Frankfurt in May. You polygamy cult. Yep, Aussie shooter.
What's that?
Polygamy cult, asking everyone to marry him. When are you coming to Belgium in July? You to no, April in England,
May in Germany.
May in Germany.
We could meet you in Frankfurt, halfway. We're going to Rottenburg.
Well, I hope to go to Rottenburg.
What's the other place we're going to?
Oh, Stuttgart.
Stuttgart. We'll have to eine Tasse Kaffee. Zwei. Zwei Kaffee bitte.
Sorry, we're just
Dankeschön.
hearing massive noise down the back.
Sound like a water buffalo.
Yeah. Come on, there's a torch. Be a man, go and investigate.
Yeah, you're right. It happens every night. We know it's a cat. It's funny, we've got this fence up now down the back and it's 7 foot high. It's nice. It gives us a lot of privacy. But the neighbourhood cats have a hell of a time. Every now and then we're set out here with this ka-thump. Wow, bang, thump. Suddenly a 5 foot fence is now 7 and the cat goes, what happened to you?
Yeah, Stuttgart.
That's just about in the middle of Germany, Stuttgart. We're going further east in
Yeah.
Germany as well. But we
Yeah,
can,
but
we can be
sort
in
of-
Stuttgart to catch up with MB if she can get the rail trains really fast apparently.
Oh, she's going now.
Okay, au revoir.
Have a good day. Night, MB.
Au revoir, mon ami.
Alright, yep. I'll let you know the date.
There's not a breath of wind, is there? It's back up to 80 degrees now.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
Sound of silence.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
I've come to talk with you again.
Like a vision.
Softly creeping.
JP's looking and he's sneaking.
What?
Trying to get all the women
Yes, coffee.
before Aussie Shooter does.
This is normal instant coffee. It's not poop coffee from any animal. It
No.
is from a tree or whatever plant. It is, yeah, it hasn't been swallowed, not digested and then pooped out and then collected by whatever. When do we end up in the States? At the end of the year.
Yeah.
Hopefully October. I'd like to be in Salem for Halloween. Yeah, I agree, Sean. A pulp-free coffee.
This is a question that I'm sure some of you will say yes to. Have any of you got or listened to, on occasion, Gregorian chant?
Oh yeah, love that music. That's probably
Just curious. Very good meditative. Even some of the newer songs they sing, but they do sing basically historical songs as well. But Gregorian chant. Anyone listen to that?
yeah, nah. Johnny P said, yeah, nah. I'll listen to it. Get a bit of culture, JP. No, it is. It's good music. I love it. It's very haunting, but nice.
I think they've got about 8 albums they've got out.
Hum us a few bars. Gregorian chant. Can't really hum it because
It's monk music.
it's like
sung.
monk music. They sing like songs that you've heard of, but they sing it their way. It's just really nice. You could meditate to the Gregorian monk music, and of course, Seed's got meditation on his channel. Spell it. Type it in. The Gregorian chant.
I'd be
It's
guessing.
G R. I can't
It's
spell.
Gregorian.
Gregorian. GREOG. Really weird spelling. IAN or something.
I'm probably going to be wrong, but it's close to this. There we go. It's. I'll probably misspelt it, but if you put that in Google, you'll find it.
It'll
Trust me.
come up, and then you'll see it. But yeah, it's just go have a Google and listen to it. Yeah.
They actually sing a lot of Elton John songs in the chant. You got to remember that they're chanting the song.
Yeah, spiritual music. Yeah, it is nice, free buddy. Yeah, once you type that in, Shawnee, you'll find it. Well, that's a big hang after it. Janie G says, I'm serious about when you get to Texas. Yep, we have a guest room already, and my husband is a great historian. Oh, that'd be cool.
It's good. We got
We
lots
can
of friends
take
in
you
Texas.
to Delhi Plaza and the Grassy Knoll. We would take you to the Cowboy game. Ooh, Cowboys. Woohoo! You haven't got your thing plugged in properly.
Okay, yeah, it's probably true. Let me just-
Plug your thingy into your what's it so it does it.
Well, I presume it's on.
Can you not just turn your screen around for a second?
We'll have a look.
Technology.
I'm just going to get out of this for a sec. I should get back in it. It says 10%.
And is it green?
No,
Boys.
I used to hypnotise people for therapy too, so if you're listening carefully,
For a while.
I want you to sit back in your chair.
Hypnotising.
I can't do it if I'm not right up close.
You don't have to be
You're
loud.
spoiled at the moment.
You don't have to be close.
I'm going to do not a hypnotic meditation, a meditation for relaxation using the spoken word. That's what I used to do. I used to get paid to do it. And I'll make it a gift to Boyd. Hopefully most people will go into deep sleep and never wake up again. No, I'm only kidding.
JP said,
Splitting your mind from reality is not called delusion, it's called taking a break. And some of the things that have happened in your life that you really love, your first love, a place where you enjoyed yourself, a special place, all of your own. They're places you go in meditation. You go to the places you feel safe, comfortable, relaxed. You don't think of like the terrible things that happen in your life and try and go there during medication. Meditation. Medication is what most of you do. But meditation can ease the soul in your body, as in overall, your whole being, and it can help you focus. Even a 5 or 10 minute meditation. I've got a lot of those on my channel, 5, 10, 20 minute meditations. Some people email me and tell me they use them at work, so they have a break instead of going outside for a cigarette. They easily just sit back and relax, and that 5 minutes seems like a couple of hours because they not a trance-like state but relaxing. And what a lot of people don't do is give themselves time to relax. You go to bed all tensed up, you hardly sleep through insomnia, you get on YouTube like you are now, and then the next day you're just ratchet, you keep forgetting things, you've lost things, you break things, because you're not at peace.
But even watching TV can be a form of meditation. Anything that takes your mind off what's bothering you
Yep.
or what's worrying.
It's true,
or
in some aspects it's very true.
the everyday grounds of life.
But I will do a meditation for you, and you don't have to pay me at all. It's a gift I'll give you, and you can play it any time you like. Just before you go to bed is a great time, and then you can relax, because some of the things you don't do when you go to bed is relax.
Everybody says they're easily hypnotised, so take it easy. Don't get too close to the screen.
Are you there? Hello? On the count of 3, you're going to wake up relaxed. 1, your body's coming back into the real world. 2, you can sense and smell the room you're in. 3, you're awake. Welcome back. Back to Studio 1.
Since Aussie should used to have trouble sleeping, but since taking, what is it? I don't know how to say that. Sleeps like a baby. Seroquel. Sequel.
I don't know. I can't read it.
Hi, Eggerson, Hamid. I've only had coffee and I can't even say the name.
See, I have a photogenic memory, and I do remember seeing a video once of Hammers in a place helping a bloke out with letting him sleep on the couch during the very cold of winter. I'm not blessed with it. I'm cursed with a photogenic memory.
Freebirdie's intentionally ignoring you.
Me?
Yeah, so you don't hypnotise them.
I won't hypnotise her.
So these tablets cause nightmares and vivid dreams, Aussie. That's not good.
It's a bit like LSD.
So you get like night terrors. A cool side effect is nightmares and I just reread that. Cool, having nightmares and vivid dreams. Pronounced Sarah Quilling. Ah, okay. Sarah Quill. He takes Sarah. I have to do is dream. Right, taking requests now.
You're listening to Casey, Coast to Coast. Remember that show? Casey, Coast to Coast in the US, and the #1 this week on, boy, it is Stick It Up Your Ass and Rub It Round Twice.
Hey, careful what you sing. This isn't adult rated.
Oh, it's okay.
Actually, dreams are very interesting. Dreams have meanings, you know.
It's the classic
But
one is dreaming of death is actually time of rebirth.
Yeah, it's getting rid of the old and the new's coming in.
Yep.
Kathy says she takes more meds before 7 a.m. than most take in a week.
As long as it makes the wheels go round, that's the main thing.
Oh, can you hear the crickets?
It's a frog.
No, it's not. It's crickets.
Alright, that's a cricket frog.
They're in that, probably in that dirt hole down there. It's crickets. I couldn't handle having nightmares all the time. Danny G, what happened? Fell asleep. Free birdie. I have friends that live in Oxford.
Oh,
JP,
Oxford.
JP took Panadol about a week ago and couldn't shake the headache that I had.
I avoid medication as much as I can. Won't take it.
Hammond said, play Red Dead Redemption.
We don't actually. Soon, at the end of the year, I'll be able to do all these things like play music and have different cameras, but we can't do it in the small part of the cottage we're in at the moment.
I haven't heard that one, Kathy. Kathy says she's heard killing crickets is bad luck.
It is in China.
Yeah. Oh,
'Cause
I
they
think
eat
they.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they must all have bad luck then, because they eat them. No, they're cute little things. I don't kill crickets.
We don't even try and kill anything, really, if we can help it.
No, but some things, if they don't listen to me and go out like cockroaches, sorry, they're dead.
Or wasps.
Or wasps or hornets. Oh man, these massive,
Not that big.
not that big, these massive hornets. Oh, I hate them. And I keep warning it. If you keep flying around when I'm having coffee, you're going to die. Finish this coffee and then I shall
Yes,
go in.
then we'll end the hangout.
So any last song for the night you're going to sing?
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. I haven't a jug to sing into.
JP.
But while I am away, I ride home every day, and I send all my loving to you.
Cricket protein is the new rage. Some of the things we saw in Vietnam. Are you telling us to shut up? Oh, JP's telling you to shut up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can take a hint.
That's because he's. We'll get you on panel, JP, and you can sing. Have we lost all
I know
some-
the song that JP would sing if he was on panel.
What?
If you like my body
And you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, let me know. Yep, that'd be JP.
Or to be the big lip movement of Mick Jagger. One of them songs.
I don't know how to say your name. Hello. I don't know.
What name have we not been able to pronounce?
Yeah, come on, Shauna, let me know.
Konnichiwa. Same person who got put last time with no name.
Is it?
JP will give you sushi any moment now.
I've only said hello, but then again, we don't know what the words say, so yeah.
Maybe my singers has attracted Japanese karaoke fans?
Everybody ate roasted ranch flavoured crickets. Oh God, what was that like, Free Birdie?
Nice and nutty and crunchy.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm game to try. I've tried a lot of things in my life. Tasted
You know, there are
like
so
pumpkin
many
seeds.
crickets on the planet that if we turned our protein into cricket protein, we wouldn't need many cows.
Yeah.
Insects can provide us with all of the proteins we need, but I'm still going to have a nice piece of steak every now and then.
Yes, you are brave, Free Birdie. And JP, he's tried bugs. Silkworms taste pretty good.
I think the most popular bug in all Asian countries is the mealworm. Little inch-long, yellowy, whitey caterpillar thing. That's probably the most popular proteins as far as things. Mealworm.
Yeah, I'm with you, Kathy, no bugs. I suppose we eat enough in our lives and don't know it when we're sleeping. Have you ever eaten bugs?
I have.
What?
I tried crickets in garlic sauce many years ago when I was camping. It was okay. Fried them up, put a bit of garlic sauce, onion in there. Actually, it just tastes like garlic with crunchy bits.
Mm.
Mind you, I had consumed copious amounts of beverage.
And so it didn't matter.
And all of us tried it and thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, anything would have been wonderful. Okay, see you, JP.
Good night, JP.
Come on, Shauna and I want to kiss off you, JP. Yeah, you're right, everybody. We probably have eaten heaps of bugs, more than we know.
Yes.
I've swallowed flies and spewed me guts up. Ugh.
Worst thing about flies, I used to play a lot of cricket, so I was out all day in the sun. Flies everywhere. Now you can swallow one and it's unpleasant,
Yeah.
but getting a fly up the nostril is not nice.
Rocky Mountain oysters in Colorado, and I have to say they weren't bad. That's what Danny G had.
Yeah, I'm pretty fussy with my seafood. I like to catch it generally first so I know where it came from.
Yep, when that's true for everybody. Survival, you'll eat anything.
I would eat anything, honestly. We live in an age of utter contentment. None of you will go hungry today. None of you, more than likely, won't be threatened with your life. None of you will suffer not going to a bed to sleep in. So at this time in the world at the moment, even though it's in total turmoil, most of you live a comfortable existence, whether you have money or you just get by. So we're pretty blessed when we think about the simple things in life that are provided through your good work, management or care.
Studio 1. No, Studio 2.
I don't know why she swallowed a fly, perhaps she'll die. We used to sing that, didn't we? Free Birdie. Kindergarten, 1814.
Yeah.
There's lots of nursery rhymes which actually usually tend to reflect a disease at the time that the nursery rhyme was given.
Ring a rosy.
Ring a rosy, pocket full of posies, and they all fall down. That's a disease. But we live in a world at the moment, not everyone, but we in the Western world live very comfortably. We have beds to sleep in. The food we can afford to buy nourishes. We get to talk to family and friends. That's why I never, ever would attack a refugee, because they come from a foreign land and they have nothing. They're living in fear. Sure, amongst those people are some despicable people, for sure. 99% of them are doing it tough. We celebrate surfing winter. We get some strange, we have a group of people called the icebergs who go swimming when it's -2. The plague, indeed, yep. That's right, Free Birdie. So lots of the nursery rhymes relate to that. Humpty Dumpty. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put
Yeah, but
Charles II together again.
yeah. Or Humpty Dumpty was pushed. Yeah.
There's a
No,
conspiracy about Humpty Dumpty.
Well, they also reckon Humpty Dumpty was a cannon. Was based on a cannon. A world-used or famous, I don't know, position, whatever, cannon.
Okay. But loads of nursery rhymes relate to diseases. And through adversity, what people do is bring up humour. You know what I mean? Absolute tragedy. I've been to several places when absolute distraught people have lost loved ones. It's an absolute mess. But during the campfire and a few drinks, they try to get a bit of laughter out. What does your California shirt say?
California Super Team established
Motorcycles.
1986 motorcycles 500cc.
Yeah. $7 at Kmart. Nice thick shirt actually. Quite surprised. Probably made by a person that doesn't have a bed to sleep in tonight. Not sure where their next meal's coming from. We have changed in the last 30 to 40 years in the West. We don't produce a damn thing. We import everything. What's happening, why your dollar doesn't go as far as it used to, and why you're not getting any pay rises, there's a bit of an equilibrium that's starting to occur. In other words, we'll be just as poor as the rest of the buggers on the planets eventually. Mark my words. There is no middle class. It's something that you pertain to and lied about. There's just really rich people and then the rest of them. And the balance that's taking place is that 40 years ago in China, there weren't billionaires running around. They have more billionaires in China now than anywhere else on the planet. Billionaires, I'm saying, not millionaires. So there's a rebalancing taking place. And wherever the money is the power. Parts of America are already, like Australia, sold to China. Don't believe me? Google it. Who owns Grand Central Station?
Monopoly.
Well, it's on Monopoly, I know that, but Darwin Harbour is currently leased to the Chinese for 25 years. All over the world, the invasion by the Chinese is a subtle, monetary one. There are no guns. In fact, the Chinese don't go to war. The only time the Chinese have fought in the last century was against Japan invading. There is no China invasion military anywhere in the world. That's right, Free, we don't make anything anymore. We stopped making cars in Australia a couple of years ago. They're all imported. We had a massive manufacturing base in this country. Ford, Holden, or General Motors as you know them, Chrysler, all of them were made in Australia. Now they just import them off containers. We don't make our clothing. Most of the food, ironically, we're your biggest producers of food in the world. Ironically, a lot of the food sold in our supermarkets is imported. It's that state of the world at the moment. Yeah, but you know the irony, Free, in all of this? Remember I said there's a rebalancing taking place? We'll be gone, but in about 30 to 40 years, you're going to see in Beijing, you'll lift the label off a t-shirt, it'll say made in the USA. You see where I'm going with this? That's what's going to happen. Rapidly becoming a second-class citizen. There is no middle class. And you will rapidly become part of the machine. So in Beijing in 2050, the kid will lift up the label of his sister's t-shirt and it will say made in the USA. A reversal of roles. Why do the Chinese do what they do? They're very efficient. I know personally 3 or 4 Chinese families, no one works harder than they do. None of their kids go to anything but private education, get the best education, and they all do thoroughly well because they work hard. What is the Western method? She'll be right, I'll just do a little bit of work, get a bit of money, go home. Nothing progressive about our Western world at all. The Chinese, however, put a lot of emphasis on education. A lot of our schools and education centres, good morning Ella, in Australia, universities, are all occupied by overseas, mainly Chinese students. There is at any given time 500,000 students in Australia from foreign countries. And then we buy their t-shirts, and then we buy their cars. But mark my words, when the revolution of the rebalancing takes place, there'll be t-shirts in China with made in Australia. There'll be flip-flops with the words made in Texas. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, Hammers, actually there's something extraordinary wrong with some of the methods of immigration when we get a lot of the very darker skinned Nigerians, the Congo, when they come to Australia. We've had horrendous scenes in the last 2 years where they run through the streets with machetes in Australia, terrorising people, stealing things, smashing cars. And when they go to court, they say, well, that's what they normally do. It's a tragedy, and it's a fact that they can't believe they can come to this country, not work. You don't have to work in Australia. They'll pay you an unemployment which will give you enough to live by, no problem at all. And yet they revert back to their pillaging and bashing, and it's very sad. maybe it's the fact of that generation, you know, I'm talking the 15 to 25-year-old, when that person gets older and the kids below say to their parents and grandparents, man, you were stupid when we first came to this country. But because I don't see the colour of a man's skin, I look at the person and I'll judge for myself over
Hey,
time
fella.
who they are and what they are about. And then if I find them distasteful, I just don't be with them. I just say, nope, not going to happen. Anyway, I'll hand you back to the production team. I'll say goodnight for tonight, and then the manager, the owner of the company, will say her piece for the evening. Wish you
Yes.
well.
Just don't forget who the boss is. Yep. Yep. Oh, we're going to go inside and cool off. It's actually getting more humid.
Good night, sweetheart. It's time to go home. Boom, 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 boom. Good night, sweetheart.
Yep, ditto, Danny.
Time to go home.
Miss Ella Seeds is singing to you. Go and give Ella
I'm
a
singing
song.
to Ella.
Yeah. Give Ella a song.
What song does she want? I know what you like. All my loving I will give to you, Ella. All my loving, all my loving. Ooh.
It's a matter of intelligence, Seeds. That's what Ham said.
Mm-hmm. You did right, and it's education and assimilation.
She liked your song.
It's very kind of her. Thank you very much.
Hi, Sean. Sean the Brent.
Morning, Sean.
Coming at you live and direct from. Are you in London, Sean?
How
Good
long
night,
is he
free
there for?
birdie.
How long is he there for?
How long are you there for, Sean? I actually thought you were in London to start
No,
with
it was
because of your
West
accent.
Coast, yes.
I didn't realise you actually lived in the US, Sean. Got bugs coming out.
So how long was he in the UK for?
I'm waiting for him to answer.
Ah, okay.
It could be a bit slow because is he further away from Australia now than US?
No, relatively closer. In relative time and space dimension.
Yeah, he's gone there for a visit. So how long are you there for, Sean? Hasn't answered yet. Put it on you for a sec so you can read the chat and talk to Sean for a minute before you go.
Okay. We are going to go shortly. Time for shower and bed. We're in. Sean is less than an hour for me. Not at the moment. He's not free birdie. It's an Atlantic Ocean.
Now Sean is less than an hour from her, I think she's saying, not from you.
No,
Oh.
normally, but he's in the UK. So. But we are in London early April and mid-April. If you're there, Sean, we'd love to catch up, have a quiet one. No problem at all. Catching up with Nicole in Manchester. So we'll catch up with her. We're going for a holiday, but if we see people that want to catch up and have a beer or a quiet sit-down chat, we're happy.
Slight breeze kicked in. Hi, Black Cat.
Black Cat, Mr. C, we have multiple shootings. Is that happening now? Is that referring to the New Zealand incident in Christchurch? Black Cat, which was an absolute tragedy. I believe it now. Do you want to give a city location, Black Cat?
Is that happening? That's not good. Oh, damn bugs are coming out now.
Just name the city, if you will, Black Cat. Utrecht. You'll have to name the country for me then.
I don't know. Never heard of that.
It sounds Slavic to me. Yugoslavia. Netherlands. Are these protests, Black Cat, or is it actually a terrorist attack?
Change that for a minute. Just got a mozzie.
We've got an uprising, and the incident in New Zealand highlights it for me. But there's been a movement of right-wing activity for the last 2 to 3 years. Terrible. A lot of right-wing groups and this one in New Zealand, it was certainly aimed at Muslims, but a lot of the right-wing activity is aimed at the political systems. A lot of far-right influences coming in. However, in Australia, we have an election coming up soon, and we have a very right-wing party in power at the moment. And we know they're going to get booted out like you've never heard of. They're going to be devastated. People are swinging back to the middle or even to the left in regards to some of the policies. So I know it won't interest a lot of people, but in Australia, the right-wing party, and it is right-wing, that runs the country at the moment, is going to get squashed unbelievably. But around the globe, right-wing activity has never been at its highest. I missed a lot of the chat, so I didn't see.
Just saying it's Blackhead's a terrorist attack, killers are on the run, and something about a tram. That's horrible.
Yeah. Killing humans for an anger that's not disposed at them. In other words, the people that get killed, like the people praying in their mosques in Christchurch, it's pointless. It's futile, and it's actually, it devastates. 50 people may be dead, but there's an old saying, you multiply the death of one person by 100, that's how many people it affects. So 50 people are dead, you equate that, and it's 5,000 people that are affected. And not to mention the country itself is in mourning, in Australia. A senseless, murderous attack for right-wing views. Terrible. And what is the prize at the end of it for that person? A life in jail, likely not to make it all the way through. Let's put it that way. A lot of our prisoners that do these horrendous things don't last long in prison. All right, Black Cat, our thoughts with you. Hope everyone's safe.
Yeah.
And we are going to close now. We've got things to do. And I appreciate all the people that came here today. Other than the start of the hangout where I was talking about the cheddar chasers and the cheese makers.
Take it easy, Blackhead.
If you missed it, go back, have a look and have a laugh, because it's a tongue-in-cheek approach to the e-beggars that abound wanting the cheddar.
Has Sean answered yet?
In regards to, I don't know, I haven't seen it.
How long he's there for?
We'll catch up with him when I go for a few weeks. Sean, yeah, I'll just repeat, we are in UK, London, early April and mid-April for about a week. So if you're there, we'll catch up. Anyway, good people, have a good day or good afternoon, wherever you are. Be kind to people. But again, like I always say, if there's some mongrel that's really deserves it, stand on his throat. No, you're right, hammers. It works both ways, but each way it's pointless. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.